everybody. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to another We've Read the Documents live stream. Your host, John Brisson. Thank you for being a subscriber. If you want to support my work, buy me coffee /We've Read. Thank you to everyone who donates. God bless each and every one of you. It has been helping me out a lot. If you want to subscribe to my work, search We've Read the Documents on Substack, Patreon, Odyssey, and Rumble. Substack gives you the greatest access to my content. You get access to my written work, my Spotify link, and etc. And my fellow brother Christ and I, Jeremy Stone, have a Christian podcast, By Their Fruits. You can listen to it wherever you find your podcast, Spotify, Apple, Podbean, whatever. All right, so. Looks like we got some trouble in paradise. We have some trouble with the Elon Musk, Donald Trump bromance. Oh, I hate that term so much. Anyway, yeah, so past few days, I've talked with friends and kind of was getting confused about what was going on. It wasn't really matching, the lines that I've drawn in my head of certain alliances of people and certain agendas that different groups and people have. And it wasn't really matching up. I mean, trust me, I'm not saying that I don't get surprised by what goes on the news and in daily life. Sometimes, obviously, I do. It happens every so often. But this one was a major curveball to me. I couldn't really figure this one out. And I'm not talking about the Trump-Elon Musk war, because that's just in wrestling what we call kayfabe. At least on appearances, it just seems to be that this is playing to some sort of finish. And we're seeing a script right now. Now, that being said, though, however, Elon Musk and Donald Trump are high up enough figures, like in wrestling, like let's say The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, for example, and that, you would have certain things that needed to happen during a feud, and you would need certain objectives to be met, and a match, you would know the match's finish. Right? But, sometimes, WWE, if you're that high caliber of a performer, you would be able to say things that was off script. Okay? Now, obviously, I'm not here to tell you what two big inflated egos are saying to each other, what's off script or on script. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. Okay? I don't think every single thing is contrived, but I also don't think that all of this is real either, okay? So I don't know. And I'm not going to sit here and come on here and tell you that I know, all right? I'm not. So I will say, though, however, it was more of the exposure of Palantir. The exposure of Palantir by the New York Slimes, and them actually doing reporting to a degree that I myself would have written and discussed about Palantir and Peter Thiel and Peter Thiel's connections to Epstein, stuff that I've talked about on this channel for years now, years upon years, right? Years upon years, okay? So that was what was that was the part that I wasn't understanding. That was the part that I wasn't figuring out. I talked with S90. We had a lengthy discussion. We went to see what narratives were being pushed on X about it. And if I'm wrong about something I previously mentioned and believed beforehand, this is where I might be wrong. And if I am, I admit it. What I might be wrong about is that Peter Thiel actually is part of the current world order, actually is part of what the Bible would consider the harlot. And, eventually, if Donald Trump is the Antichrist, is the beast, he will take the power from the harlot, which is currently controlling him, right? So there is a possibility. Now, I put majority of the technocrats, and I put Thiel as beast, because he is building what I consider to be the technocratic beast system, right? But it could be a possibility. He is a member of the Bilderberg. It's unknown his alliances, and it's unknown his membership with certain what we would consider beast system factions, like the Council for National Policy, La Circle, or the World Future Society, for example, to name a few. But we do know that he's in Bilderberg, and Bilderberg would be Harlot, current world order faction. Okay, even so much so that they made him a leader in the Bilderberg group. Okay. So the exposure of Palantir was kind of throwing me for a loop. And it still is. However, me and S90 did see the narrative where people were discussing, and let me see if I can get a tweet for an example of this, of Palantir being like the final boss, right? Which is very similar to Israel, QAnon saying Israel's last. I believe that Mystery Babylon is Jerusalem. And so that would be the final boss of the current world order, or Harlot, seated inside of Jerusalem, right? The current power structure, right? So if that is the narrative, and I was mistaken about Peter Thiel's alliance and that he was actually part of the Harlot, and he was building the system for the beast to take over, if Trump is the Antichrist, okay? And even if he isn't, this is still the system, okay? So we have this tweet right here. Let me see if I can open it. Yeah, I should be able to do it here. It's going to make me sign in. Well, anyway, there is a tweet. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Can we all unite against Palantir? This should be the final straw. So I saw various tweets alluding to this, where there were various tweets alluding to that Palantir was the final boss, that Peter Thiel was the final boss, that it was a representation of the Harlot. So that could be correct, right? That might be true, right? So if that is, and that would make sense. It would make sense, the exposure of Palantir. It would make sense. Okay, so that's an aside to today's stream, but it does play a role in what we're seeing, okay? So today we had the Elon Musk Trump battles, and it escalated extremely quick, okay? So it first went to them arguing about the big, beautiful bill, and Elon was throwing the shots first. He was getting upset about it, saying it wasn't cutting pork. And then let me bring up Trump's Truth Social. So Trump was saying he didn't mind Elon, like right here, I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done so months ago. This is one of the, so Trump's still pushing the big, beautiful bill. There is a audio recording, let me see if I can find that, where Trump literally says that now Elon Musk has Trump derangement syndrome, which is quite interesting with all we know of TDS now, and what it represents, kind of the pushing of that narrative, and Trump actually saying, well, I don't know, I guess Elon Musk has TDS. Let me see if I can find that. Elon Musk TDS. Might not be able to find that clip straight up, but Trump did say that Elon Musk had TDS. Here we go. Oh, sorry, you guys couldn't hear it. Okay, let me start back from the beginning. Thank you, Aaron.
He said the most beautiful things about me, and he hasn't said bad about me personally, but I'm sure that'll be next. But I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot.
And Mr. President, did he? I just want to clarify. Did he raise any of these concerns with you privately before he raised them publicly? And this is the guy you put in charge of cutting spending. Should people not take him seriously about spending now? Are you saying this is all sour grapes?
No, he worked hard and he did a good job. And I'll be honest, I think he misses the place. I think he got out there and all of a sudden he wasn't in this beautiful Oval Office, and he's got nice offices too. But
so Musk is like taking like,
this is where,
like rods from God, like.
They come in and they walk into the Oval Office, and it's just a special place. It's, World War I, it started and it ended here, and World War II, and so many other things. Everything big comes right from this beautiful space. It's now much more beautiful than it was 6 months ago. A lot of good things are happening in this room, and I'll tell you, he's not the first. People leave my administration and they love us, and then at some point they miss it so badly, and some of them embrace it, and some of them actually become hostile.
That was very quick, Trump. It's literally been like, well, I don't know, like how many days? Like a week or less that you gave him the key to the White House, and he came in with that black eye, right?
I don't know what it is. It's sort of Trump derangement syndrome, I guess they call it. But we have it with others too. They leave, and they wake up in the morning, and the glamour's gone. The whole world is different, and they become hostile. I don't know what it is. Someday you'll write a book about it and you'll let us know.
You'll write a book about it someday, huh? Yeah. So there you go. Elon Musk now has Trump derangement syndrome. Which is very true. Which that part's very true. So there's that aspect. Let's continue. It's the whole thing is just. So they're going back and forth that over the big, beautiful bill. Back and forth, back and forth. So, we had Trump, and I did the stream, talk about that Biden was eliminated and replaced with a clone, right? So now we have Elon Musk saying, who was the man who wrote all these words, all these past tweets of Donald Trump? Was he replaced by a body double? Okay, so now we have another, body doubles, clones, pushing of that narrative. Now that being pushed in by Elon Musk in tandem. So we have this back and forth going on against each other. Now it appears that it's reached one apex with Elon Musk going, time to drop the really big bomb. Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been public. Have a nice day, Donald John Trump. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. Well, okay. Yes, I really do believe that. Elon Musk is also very much involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Peter Thiel is very much involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump is very much involved with Jeffrey Epstein. So, there should be information that would also come out in the Epstein files as well, too, that would implicate Elon Musk. And so they're all intimately involved with Epstein. So what kind of limited hangout disclosure nonsense is this? Okay. So then we have that part, right? And then we're not even done yet. We're not even done. Okay. We then have Adrian Dittman, who people thought was like Elon Musk using like a voice modulator because the guy sounds like Elon Musk, and then it was, Grok AI that was actually Adrian Dittman. And then there was, is Adrian Dittman a real person? Is he not? Jason Burmis was getting down in the weeds and covering it, saying it was an AI of Elon Musk. So then you have Adrian Dittman come out and say of all things in this whole entire shenanigans, the world's greatest fiction writers could not have conceived a timeline like this. So again, that plays into the all the world's a stage narrative and everything is fake and nothing is real. So then you end up with that. So now you have literally a guy who may or may not be Elon Musk, may or may not be a Elon Musk AI, may or may not be a real person that just has a very, good way of mimicking Elon Musk's body movements and Elon Musk's voice, now saying the world's greatest fiction writers couldn't have conceived of a timeline like this. Elon Musk laughs at it and says 100% to a man who's based his entire life off of World Future Society science fiction. All right, let's continue. So next we have Ian Miles Chung, who shows now who he's in bed with. Okay. President versus Elon. Who wins? My money's on Elon. Trump should be impeached, and J.D. Vance should replace him. Elon Musk says yes. So now Elon Musk is now calling for the impeachment of Donald Trump, for him to be replaced with Peter Thiel's multiple strings puppet boy, a real boy. I'm a real boy, J.D. Vance. Okay. So now we have that going on. So then we have someone discussing, Donald Trump's connections to Jeffrey Epstein, talking about the New York Magazine profile, where Epstein likes to tell people that he's a loner, a man who's never touched alcohol or drugs, and one whose nightlife is far from energetic. And yet, if you talk to Donald Trump, a different Epstein emerges. I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. Trump booms from a speakerphone. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it. Jeffrey Epstein enjoys his social life. Well, that's what Trump said about Epstein. I've covered that many times on this channel. Okay? And Elon Musk, now all of a sudden, not like this information has been on his platform X, vocalized by many, many people over the past years, because it's the externalization of the hierarchy, and Epstein is disclosing to the masses, which in theory, this is what this is, right? This is a greater disclosure, because now everybody is going to be talking about it. Everybody's going to be talking about it. Everyone at the water cooler is going to be talking about Trump versus Musk, for the most part, okay, in America, all right? I'm not talking about everybody around the world, okay? But yes, they're going to be talking about this. I have, many regular people in my everyday life messaging me about this, okay? So this is getting some eyes on it, all right? So then we have someone posting the MSNBC video of the footage of the 1992 party with Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, which I've covered on this channel. And then Elon Musk also giving another, thinking, sad, stereotypical INTP face, all right? So we're going to test the temperature of the water. Let's see what the replies are to these comments. What are people saying? Okay. All right. So, MAGA communist Jackson Hinkle says, "Hey, Elon, did Epstein really work for Israel? Spill the beans." Okay. So we have the Q people. Look, there's, MJ Truth Ultra, which is a very big pusher of the QAnon operation, posting the picture of Elon Musk and Ghislaine Maxwell together because, yes, they're tied to the hit. Okay. So then we have Green Lives Matter pushing Bradley Edwards, saying that Trump kicked Mar-a-Lago. That's been completely bunked. That's not true. I have a PowerPoint presentation. Epstein himself said he was not kicked out of Mar-a-Lago. It's a complete bunk. But again, these are the narratives that are being spun right now. And so the initial one, let's go to the initial tweet. So for this one, we have Lex Friedman. That escalated quickly. Laugh out loud. Triple the security. Please be safe out there, brother. Your work, SpaceX, Tesla, XAI, Neuralink is important for the world. Bro fist. So what is Lex getting at? That Trump's going to kill Elon Musk? That Trump's going to assassinate Elon Musk? Is that what Lex Friedman's getting at? And then we have Alex Jones. God help us all. Well, Alex Jones doesn't believe in God the Father or Jesus Christ. His God is Satan. So that's an interesting take there. And So let's click on Alex Jones real quick. And Alex Jones played a brief little video. I wonder if it's still even up. I remember watching it, but it might not be up anymore. It might be just part of the entire live. Let's listen to this right here.
Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. He posted that 10 minutes ago, and it's already got 1 million views. This is all because of Mike Johnson. I don't know if Donald Trump's in the Epstein files or not, and if Musk is just making this up. But Elon Musk has a history of not ever making anything up. Mark this post for the future.
So, Alex Jones and his lackeys, the CMP, are behind Trump, obviously. And yes, it's really not that hard to find Trump's vast connections to Jeffrey Epstein. If you look, it's really not difficult at all. But, we'll wave it off because we're told to wave it off. It's Infowars after all. And it was Speaker Mike Johnson, the Zionist CMP Mike Johnson. He's the reason why the two daddies are fighting. He's the reason why.
The truth will come out, says Elon Musk. Does he know something? Is he speculating something? What is going on here? I mean, there's no real way for me to report on this or analyze this because this is a shocker to me, just as it is to you. I don't know if it's...
Why can't you? Why can't you report on it? Why can't you do some analysis? I've been doing some analysis the past 23 minutes. What? You can't? You can't come out multiple reasons why this is happening? You can't discuss why, Trump and Elon Musk are intimately connected to Jeffrey Epstein?
It's true or not. I do know that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein had a falling out many years ago, even before.
They did have a falling out over the Abe Gossman estate. Had nothing to do with pedophilia because both Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump are pedophiles.
His first rendezvous with the law over some of his behaviors, Jeffrey Epstein's, that is.
No, that's not why they fell out. That fell out over Abe Gossman estate bidding war. Trump may have turned Epstein in because he was so mad and furious with Jeffrey Epstein. Had nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein's horrid proclivities.
And after all, Donald Trump did sign the executive order to have the Epstein files released. Why would he sign such an executive order if he knew that he was in the Epstein files? But on the other
because it could be a limited hangout release.
hand, I've never heard of Elon Musk lying about something like this, making something like this up. I mean, every time he said something incredible that everyone thought was impossible, he's pretty much accomplished it. Landing a rocket a second time, building an electric vehicle that was affordable and he could scale in the United States of America.
It's interesting. Alex Jones is now showing Nicholas J. Fuentes, pushing Nicholas J. Fuentes, right? There's zero doubt in my mind that Trump is named in the Epstein files. Elon is telling the truth. Well, yeah. But it's interesting that Nicholas J. Fuentes at Infowars, and they've been platforming Fuentes for years, but you have Chase Geisler giving the narrative that Trump ain't involved with Epstein and then putting up a picture of Fuentes that they're involved with Epstein. That's narrative and counter-narrative.
Co-founder of PayPal before it was even plausible that there would be financial transactions on the internet. I mean, you name it, this guy's extraordinary. They thought that he was going to totally fail with X, and then he succeeded. Apparently, explosive tapes recorded by author Michael Wolff show Epstein claiming Trump liked to F his friends, wives, and first slept with Melania on the Lolita Express. When's this article from the Daily Beast from? Headline says, listen to Jeffrey Epstein tapes. I was Donald Trump's closest friend. Did this come out today? As an old news? So who knows what's true? I highly doubt that Donald Trump is a pedophile or slept with underage girls. And I think that as soon as he found out that this underage operation was taking place, that's when he distances himself from Epstein. But he might be named in the files. Maybe.
Well, I mean, years before then, we've played the interview where Donald Trump said Jeffrey Epstein likes his girls, some on the younger side, right? It didn't seem like he cut him loose then, Chase.
He was on the plane. Maybe he went to the island. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But this has to stop. because the party cannot sustain a war between Elon Musk and Donald Trump when the real war is between the United States and the globalists, between the American people and the American people's own deep state. That's the real war. This is Mike Johnson's fault. Mike Johnson created this bill, this big, beautiful bill, over the course of 14 months, which is basically a deep state budget bill. In many ways, many problems with it, many good things about it. I love the fact that we're going to win this AI arms race. I love the fact that we're going to go to war.
I love the fact that we're going to win this AI arms race. I love the fact that I'm pushing American exceptionalism and techno-optimism. Go technocrats. This is the state of Infowars in 2025. Go technocrats. Go Palantir. Go, American exceptionalism. Yeah, let's get it done. Let's build. We got to beat the Chinese, you guys. We have to beat the Chinese with AI. Oh no, we got to beat them. We have to give this 10-year moratorium on slowing down artificial intelligence and thinking it through and investigating it. We have to. We're going to put it inside this big, beautiful bill. We have to. Okay? The Chinese.
War in space and a cold war, not a hot war, so we can have dominance and protect ourselves with the Golden Dome without allowing the globalists or the CCP to have this type of power into the 21st century. I love a lot about it, and I love Donald Trump. But Mike Johnson could have made a way better bill over the course of 14 months, and he decides to do this? And then he says, oh, sorry, we don't have enough time to fix it. Well, can't you just take out the egregious parts? And I know that the spending that will be generated...
Yeah. What do we expect at this point? I mean, look, what do we expect at this point?
Irrelevant. Israel's got main control of the telecoms and a bunch of the NSA switches. MI6 is heavily involved. And all I hear about is Palantir, Palantir, because the liberals talk about it all day.
Nah, if you talk about Palantir, then you're a liberal. If you talk about Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump, you're a liberal. If you talk about Rex 84 and FEMA camps, you're a liberal. But Alex Jones, didn't you talk about Rex 84 and FEMA camps? And were you a liberal when you talked about that? No, you're always a JBSer, right? Mm-hmm.
They want you to think about that when you think about a surveillance grid, because Palantir, Trump is trying to hire to spy on the deep state so that he can understand what all the grids are. And I'm not saying Alex Karp of Palantir is some angel. He's a big liberal. Oh, he helped fund the EU system to surveil and crush the right wing. Oh, his greatest fear is a Christian nationalist throwing him off a roof. No, I'm not lionizing Palantir. Palantir is tiny.
Peace process.
Making decisions
it's
faster,
running Israel's
and
AI,
really
it's running around
gives you
killing people.
clean energy.
All this
When
stuff
I'm
is there.
talking, it seems like
My point is that all this hype about Palantir comes out of the Young Turks.
Palantir's tiny. You don't have to worry about it, you guys. You don't have to worry about it at all. It is no worry. Don't worry about Palantir, you guys. Don't worry at all. You know, Operation Warp Speed and Tiberius Kirk, it was saline in those shots, according to Alex Jones back in the day. Get them. Don't worry about it. Trump's trying to save America back in 2020 with Operation Warp Speed in 45 days to stop the spread. And Palantir, which was deeply involved with Operation Warp Speed, Operation Tiberius Kirk, they're trying to save us today. And you know who they're trying to save us from? The Chi-Coms. Chi-Coms. The man who used to talk about surveillance, the surveillance state, the police state, the man who used to be against it, who's a Judas Goat, Pied Piper, Alex Jones, CMP Alex Jones, is now telling you to trust Palantir. Trust Palantir. Alex Jones, I bet them Peter Thiel checks. You just kiss him. Just kiss him. You love him so much. You love that money, don't you, Jones? You love it.
And out of the New York Times, and I see almost everybody in Patriot media spending half their time on Palantir. And it's because you aren't informed. You don't know all the pieces.
But you do, Alex. I'm not informed. And other people who've deeply researched and whistleblown about Palantir, we're not informed, but you are. How anybody still takes Alex Jones seriously, how anybody believes this man at all as any truth teller is insanity to me. It's beyond insanity.
You're not real scholars. Like I should ask Flynn, I know what he'd say. And it's not because Alex Karp, never met Alex Karp, but I've known about him for 15 years. Know all about Peter Thiel, all of that stuff. Peter Thiel's been backing Trump massively. The point is who else is Trump going to go to in Silicon Valley to try to surveil the government deep state and all the stolen money? Yes.
Oh, Palantir's going to surveil the deep state. They're not going to surveil us. I guess they've been taking the deep state's health data. They've been taking the deep state's health data. Oh, the deep state got all those jabbity jabberdoos, and they've been taking their health data to round up the deep state. Ah, Alex, you're brilliant. You're brilliant. Yeah, all the IRS taxpayer data. Yeah, the deep state really does pay their taxes, don't they, Alex? Yeah, man, I tell you what, this is some 5,000 ketamine dimensional chess here. Oh, boy.
But Elon's not involved in this Golden Dome thing that they're trying to give the contract to Palantir, and the military-industrial complex is pissed because Palantir is the Johnny-come-lately, and that.
But you're pro-Russia, Alex. You have been for a very long time, and Palantir is being used by Ukraine against the Russian forces, and have been during the Biden administration, and Anduril Industries as well too. So. Palantir is deeply involved with the military-industrial complex, and Anduril Industries is as well, too, and so is Peter Thiel, Palmer Luckey, and so on and so forth. So, the math ain't mathin', man. The math ain't mathin'. I mean, just get down and say that you got a thing for Peter Thiel and you want to cash his checks, okay? Because I'd at least respect that if you came out and you had a big Palantir banner on Infowars and it was like, our newest sponsors, Palantir, and it shows Alex Jones going to the bank and cashing his check by Peter Thiel and by Palantir or whatever shell company. So no one facetious that Peter Thiel wouldn't put his direct Hancock on a check that Alex Jones cashed, okay? But still, nonetheless, I'd respect you slightly ever sliver bit more, okay? Because this is a load of horse crap.
That doesn't mean that it's not a problem. My God, all of it. I mean, you look at Sentinel, the Pentagon's AI. You look at Google's AI, Microsoft's AI. Grok is basically like Bill Gates now. I'm not saying for math or science, it's really good for that. But I mean, it goes with authoritative sources, and that's the New York Times, the Washington Post, and Southern Poverty Law Center. I mean, Grok basically disagrees with everything Elon Musk says. Grok came out and was attacking me and Musk and everybody. Oh no, Bono never stole any money. He never got USAID money. Oh, no, just groups that USAID gave to him. Bono gives less than 1%. Now it's...
All right. Enough of this schlock. If anybody still believes in Alex Jones, I can sell you something. So I'm trying to find... Here's Roger Stone talking about Trump, I believe. I think this is Roger Stone talking about Trump Epstein. So on Infowars... I just had it. Let me see if I can find it again. Oh, this is all so tiresome. Just shills on shills on shills. So much to cover, so little time. Here we go.
Get more on the other side. Hopefully Roger Stone will be with us by then. 32, please. All right, it looks like the crew's a little bit distracted.
Scientists are now confirming what many have long suspected. The COVID shots don't just...
Banned for life still on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. The only two places you can follow me...
Look, we're about to hear from Roger Stone, and we're going to hear about Roger Stone while Trump has nothing to do with Epstein, you guys. Nothing at all.
I'm also on True Social, so I'm grateful to Elon Musk for my voice. I think he's done great things for free speech. I don't know where he's getting this information, but the longest chapter in my 2015 book, The Clintons' War on Women, is an expose of Jeffrey Epstein. I accurately had his flight manifests for the Lolita Express from the FAA. I report accurately on his little black book. Yes, Donald Trump was on Epstein's plane once. It was a weekend in which Trump's plane was in the shop for repairs.
Just
Donald
once.
Trump and his wife Marla Maples at the
Just
time,
once.
and his daughter Tiffany flew from New York to Palm Beach and back with Jeffrey Epstein, which proves what? Proves nothing whatsoever. They knew each other. Trump doesn't deny that. Trump cut him off very early.
Yes, absolutely. He was one of the first to cut him off. And frankly, you know, at least up until today, I was an example of somebody who trusted both Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
So
And
just once,
I'm
right?
leaning that way now.
Just once, right? Once, right? Just once. It's simple Google search. I can Google it for you. I know you're old, Roger, okay? I don't know what's happening to your eyesight. You know, syphilis does a crazy thing to a person's brain and their eyesight. Not saying he has it. I'm just saying it does a crazy thing to a person's eyesight and to their mental cognition, okay? But Donald Trump named repeatedly in Jeffrey Epstein files released by Pam Bondi. Well, the files did not disclose new information as flight logs naming Trump as a passenger Epstein aircraft at least 7 times. Well, I'm not the best at math, Roger, okay? But I'm pretty sure 7 is far greater than 1. Far greater. Far greater. So, in conclusion, will this push Epstein knowledge to the masses more? Yes, it will. For sure. Will this push Trump and Epstein out there more? Yes, it will. Will that be controlled and memory hold? I believe so, but time will tell. So, in closing, one final thing, which is a very interesting narrative that I see happening right now. According to the New York Times, Elon Musk has said that, Stephen Ketamine Bannon, CMP Stephen King Ketamine Bannon. It's very interesting. He's telling for Musk's drug use of ketamine to be investigated when Bannon's own use of drugs should be investigated, but here nonetheless. Stephen Ketamine Bannon calls for Elon Musk to be deported, says Trump administration should investigate Musk's drugs use and suspend his security clearance. They should initiate a formal investigation of his immigration status, because I'm a strong belief that he is an illegal alien. So that's one interesting narrative that's coming out of all this, is deport Elon Musk. And then what we really have here. Kill the bill and release the Epstein files. If this is any truth to this all being kayfabe, this all being a narrative, this all building to a limited hangout Jeffrey Epstein disclosure, imagine my shock, and I'm being facetious there, that they finally released the Epstein files because of all this hullabaloo. You have, the Democrats calling out in Congress to release the Jeffrey Epstein files. Again, the reason why we've waited so long, people have been waiting on the edge of their seats, on bated breath for the crescendo. And now you have our MAGA dads fighting. Okay. The crescendo is when they release these files. Something that I've talked about on this channel significantly over the past year, over the past numerous streams I've done on 2025, the Externalization of the Hierarchy and the Epstein disclosure. Trump, in this bill, on this bill, sorry, in the Epstein files, either very little information or nothing at all is going to come out in the Epstein files about Trump's involvement to Epstein, or something will come out and it'll be memory hold because there'll be a greater evidence and knowledge of Clinton's involvement with Jeffrey Epstein, for example, or Bill Gates' involvement for Jeffrey Epstein, example. It's going to name people that are part of the Harlot current world order more so than anybody that will come in the New World Order or the beast system. Okay? There's a possibility there might be information in there that seems to, quote-unquote, vindicate Trump. Okay? There's information that comes out that vindicates him. We'll see. But this appears to be what's happening. But we'll see. I don't know. I could be completely wrong on all of this. Trump might go down because of this. Trump might be assassinated because of this. If he's not the Antichrist, those things definitely could occur. We'll see. We'll see. But as of right now, this doesn't really change anything fully that I believe. But it does indicate that it may, I might be wrong. And I've always said that. I never came on this channel and said 100% for sure that I know that Trump's the Antichrist. 100% I know for sure who's playing on which side yet. I don't know. I can make some educated guesses. I can make some inferences. I can put it at high confidence that I'm making those inferences, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm correct. I'm not God. And there's nothing that I've gotten so far that says, "Thus saith the Lord" to me. And I've been clear on that. But there have been things that I think that may be right, and I have called a lot of things. I've also made mistakes and miscalled a lot of things that I thought were going to happen as well, too. I thought Trump would have ran against Hillary Clinton again, for example. Okay. So, again, I don't always get it right. But what I think is important is if I'm speculating, if I'm wrong, for me to come on here and humble myself up enough to admit it. Okay. Sometimes it takes me a little bit, but hopefully, Lord willing, I will. Take care, everyone. God bless you. And let me know what you think in the comments section. Let me know what you think, what's going on.